Hi, welcome to SunshineMLS Plus. This video will go over the February SunshineMLS Plus release items. On this list of release items and enhancements, SunshineMLS Plus is bringing you some of the functionality that the members have been asking for. So the first thing that we're going to show you is the addition of the change date and change type columns to the search results. So we're just going to do a very quick search. And we're going to get some results, in this case 91 results. And once we're on the search results screen, what we're going to see is that we'll have two new columns that we'll be able to add onto the search results. So you can do it by adding it using quick columns, or you can actually make a custom column setting and add these new columns to your custom column setting. So what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to find them. They're called change date and change type, so they're right here. Just by typing change you'll get them. And we'll add change date and change type. We're going to remove a couple of columns just so you can see the change date and change type columns right away when we apply this new column setting, but otherwise you can obviously leave every column as is. So if we go ahead and we select this column setting, it's going to apply it to our results, and we'll see at the end here we have two new columns called change date and change type. And what these columns indicate, for example for this first listing, is that this particular listing was entered as a new listing on 12/16/2010. These next set of listings were extended on the dates indicated right here. Likewise, this listing was a new listing, and so on down the list. SunshineMLS keeps track of several change types, and you'll see a lot of those right here in this column change type, as well as the change dates that the latest change happened to the particular listing. In addition to these two columns, this release also features the pagination on the top and the bottom of the screen. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the screen, what you'll notice at the bottom here is that you have the same actions that you can perform at the very top. So you can go, if we had more than one page of listings, you can go to page 2 or page 3. You can apply a new column set from your saved columns. You can export the results, change the columns, sort, email, or print the columns or the listings from the bottom as well as again from the very top. This also applies on all the other tabs. So you'll notice that at the top the navigation is what you've been used to, but if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see that you can go to the very next listing, in this case listing number 15, just by clicking the arrow on the bottom, and it'll take you to listing number 15. You can scroll to the top, see the listings details, and so on. You can change the reports from the bottom as well as from the top. And again, if we had more than one page of listings, you could go to page number 2 or 3 or however many pages you happen to have in this particular, for your particular search. So in addition to the change date and change type columns and the pagination at the top as well as the bottom, we've also added two new printable reports in this release. So we're going to go ahead and search for an MLS number, and this MLS number will just give us quite a few photos that we can look at so that we can demonstrate the two new reports. The two new reports are printable reports, and they're found under the print menu, and what you'll be able to see is a showing report as well as a photo gallery report, and we'll show these to you one at a time. So we're going to go ahead and show you the showing report, and the showing report is meant to be handed out to your customer as you go and show them a property. This report will have some basic information about the property as well as several photos, and then it will feature sections where your customer can take notes on the particular property as they're walking through the property. So this is what a showing report looks like, and you can print it for any listing that is in the MLS. In addition to the showing report, we also created a photo gallery report, And what this report does is it creates a gallery report of all of the photos attached to the listing, and it puts all of the photos on a single page. So what we're going to say is we want to print the photo gallery report for this particular listing, and you'll see this listing has 24 photos, and you'll see that all of them are on a single page. At the top of the report, you'll see some basic information about the listing, such as the address, the list price, number of bedrooms and bathrooms, the square footage, both living and total square feet, as well as the MLS number. So again, this is the photo gallery report. Another part of this release is several shortcuts that are supposed to make using SunshineMLS that much easier. So for example, if you wanted to email this listing, but you realized that you forgot something and so you wanted to go back and modify your search, you can click the cancel button to get out of this gray out, or if you get the gray out back again, you can click the escape key on your keyboard and that will make the gray out disappear. Again, that's the escape key on your keyboard will make any gray out on the site disappear as though you click the cancel button right inside of the gray out. Another set of shortcuts that we've implemented is the ability to scroll through photos on any given listing by using the arrow keys on your keyboard. So if you want to advance to the next photo, you can go down to the thumbnail and you can click on it to advance to the next photo. Or without clicking on the thumbnail, you can use the right arrow key to advance to the next photo. So I'm clicking the right arrow key right now and I'm advancing through the photos to the next photo. Now if I wanted to go to the previous photo, all I need to do is click the left arrow key on my keyboard and it will take me to the previous photo. What you may also want to do is you may want to use your mouse to go to the next photo. So to go to the next photo using your mouse, you simply put the cursor over the photo and you left click on the photo and it will advance to the next photo if you left mouse click on the photo. If you right mouse click on the photo with your right mouse button, it will advance backwards to the previous photo. So again, you can use the left and right arrows to go forwards and backwards, and you can use the left and right mouse keys to scroll through the photos. And as always, you can use the thumbnails on the bottom to scroll through the photos as well. The February release of the SunshineMLS Plus upgrades also features one new field that is required in all listings for all property classes, as well as one new option in an already existing field. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull up a listing to show you the new required field. The new field is called Source of Measurements, and this field is meant to indicate what the source or sources were for the measurements provided in the listing. And these measurements include the living area, the total area, acreage or lot dimensions, or anything to that effect. So the new source of measurements field is located in the compensation and miscellaneous information section, and you'll see it right here as a required field. It contains several options that you can choose from, and you can pick as many of those options as are applicable. So for example, our measurements for this particular listing may have come from the property appraiser's office as well as a previous appraisal. So we'll select those two, and that will take care of the new source of measurements field that is now a required field. In addition to the source of measurements field, there's one additional option that's been added to the community type field. So if we go ahead and try and find community type, we'll see there's a new option in the community type field called non-gated. And this option is meant to be used for properties that are within a community that is a non-gated community. This will make it easier to identify those properties in both search and results once you perform your search. So with these changes, we can save and view our listing. Again, the new field is source of measurements, and it is a required field, and there's a new option within the community type field called non-gated. And so if we go ahead and we take a look at the details and scroll down to the bottom, we'll see that there's a new source of measurements field, and that source of measurements field is right on the bottom, and will tell us that the measurements in this listing were from a previous appraisal as well as from property appraiser's office. And then again, the community type field will show the option that we picked of non-gated for the community type for this particular listing. That concludes our video on the releases, the February release items for SunshineMLS Plus.